electrocyclic reactions. These reactions are a class of pericyclic reactions in which a conjugated polyene interconverts with an unsaturated cyclic compound containing one less carbon-carbon double bond than the polyene. And these reactions, they can be performed thermally or photochemically and take place with a very high degree of stereoselectivity. So these are the basic two examples. In the first examples, it is 1,3,5 hexatriene which undergo cyclization to give you hexadienes through electrocyclic reactions. Whereas in the second example, cyclobutene undergoes ring opening through lactocyclic reactions to give you 1,3-butadienes. And the difference in energy between the open chain and closed ring isomers in lactocyclic reaction is not very high. So one type of open chain compound after being converted into a cyclic compound can further be transformed into another type of open chain compound with different configuration. The partial conversion of more stable isomer in these reactions to less stable forms may easily occur. So for example, the cis-cis 2,4-hexadiene, this one, cis-cis 2,4-hexadiene is converted into trans-trans 2,4-hexadienes by two electrocyclic steps. In the first electrocyclic step, this open chain compound is converted into this cyclic compound through one electrocyclic reaction. And in another electrocyclic step, this uh, closed chain compound changes again into an open chain compound through electrocyclic reaction. Then these reactions, as you know, they can take place by different processes, and there are two processes by which these can take place: condensatory process and disrotatory process. The condensatory process in electrocyclic reaction is the rotation where the terminal carbon of a polyene or saturated carbons of the cyclized form rotate in the same direction. That is, either they rotate clockwise or they rotate anti-clockwise direction. So you can see over here that in this molecule this is an open chain compound, and condensatory motion in the clockwise direction leads to the formation of this closed ring compound. Similarly, this 2E4Z6Z octatriene, this one, undergo condensatory ring closure to give you cis 5,6 dimethyl 1,3 cyclohexadiene through condensatory process. And this is the general conversion of a condensatory motion leading to the formation of an open chain compound through a closed chain compound. And you can see on this carbon you are having substituent A and B, and on this carbon you are having substituent C and D. Through condensatory motion, when this ring opening will take place through rotation of the molecule in the same direction, the opening of this carbon carbon bond will take place, and you will get this as the product through condensatory motion. Similarly, disrotatory processes where the rotation is in the different directions, that one of the bond say rotates clockwise, other bond rotates anti-clockwise, and such type of ring closure is called as disrotatory ring closure. So you can see over here that this is rotating in anti-clockwise direction, this is rotating in clockwise direction, and this cyclic compound is converted into open chain compound through this rotatory motion, and this cyclobutene gives you 1,3-butadiene as the product, where different substituents move according to rotation of the bond in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Then for these electrocyclic reactions, there are certain rules on the basis of which these electrocyclic reactions take place, and these rules we call these as Woodward-Hoffmann rules. So first is that when the electrocyclic reaction is taking place by under thermal conditions, then an open chain system containing 4 and pi electrons, the orbital symmetry of the highest occupied molecular orbital is such that a bonding interaction between the ends must involve overlap between orbital envelopes on opposite faces of the system, and this can only be achieved in a conrotatory process. So that means in case of a thermal reaction, the process will be conrotatory in motion in case of 4 and pi electrons. The compounds containing 4 and pi electrons in open chain system. Then in open systems containing 4 and plus 2 pi electrons, the terminal bonding interaction within the ground state molecules requires overlap of orbital envelopes on the same face of the system, attainable only by disrotatory displacements. Whereas in a photochemical reaction, an electron in the highest occupied molecular orbital of the reactant is promoted to an excited state, leading to a reversal of terminal symmetry relationships and stereospecificity. So meaning is that in case of photochemical reactions, the conditions will be opposite to what we have seen in case of thermal reaction. That is 4n pi electron containing reactants, they will react electrocyclically through disrotatory motion, and 4n plus 2 pi electron compounds, they will undergo electrocyclic reaction through conrotatory process. So that means photochemical reactions, their mode will be opposite in terms of conrotatory or disrotatory motion than the thermal reactions. Now we will explain these conrotatory or disrotatory through a few examples. The first one is buta-1,3-diene, which has 4 electrons in the ground state and thus proceeds through a conrotatory ring closing mechanism. This is the reaction is proceeding through conrotatory motion because this is a thermal reaction. So 1,3-butadiene under thermal conditions gives you this trans product. The reason is in the ground state in the thermal reactions, the highest occupied molecular orbital is this psi2, and this is your psi2, and if the rotation takes place by conrotatory process, that means both these orbitals, they will move in the same direction. You can see the uh, filled lobe of this will overlap with the filled lobe of this orbital. That means the overlap, because both the lobes they have the same sign, so this overlap will be a constructive overlap, and the product is formed only if the overlap is constructive overlap. That means conrotatory motion will lead to the formation of the product, because the interaction between the highest occupied molecular orbital is a constructive orbital overlap, and we will get this symmetry allowed product, which will be a trans product. Then another example where substituted hexa 1,3,5 triene, this undergoes electrocyclic reaction through disrotatory mechanism. So you can see over here, this is substituted 1,3,5 hexatriene, and when this is heated, then this changes into this cis product, cyclic product. And if we see the highest occupied molecular orbital, psi 3 is the highest occupied molecular orbital. And we can see over here that if rotation is disrotatory, that one molecular orbital rotates in the clockwise direction and other rotates in the anti-clockwise direction, we can see that overlap will be between the lobes of the orbital which have the same sign. So because the sign of the lobes is same, that means this overlap will be a constructive overlap, and hence the product formation will be symmetrically allowed, and this product, that is cis product, will be formed. Then another example, that now third example, that is of photochemically driven electrocyclic ring closure of buta 1,3-diene. Buta 1,3-diene, when is irradiated with UV light, this gives you a cyclic cis product. And we can see that in case of photochemical reactions, the one of the electron is get excited to the unoccupied state, and now the HOMO is psi 3, not psi 2, as we have seen in case of thermal reactions. Then this psi 3 will undergo rotation like this. This lobe, this rotates in clockwise direction, this rotates in anti-clockwise direction, because the motion is disrotatory. And when this motion undergoes, then the lobes are having the same sign, they overlap, hence the orbital overlap is a constructive overlap, and hence we are getting this symmetrically allowed product. So this is how, on the basis of highest occupied molecular orbital, we can explain that through disrotatory or conrotatory processes, the various symmetrically allowed products, they can be formed. Whether the product formation is allowed under thermal conditions, or it is allowed under photochemical conditions, that can be proved through disrotatory or conrotatory process in these reactions in case of highest occupied molecular orbitals. Then formation of products that can also be explained on the basis of correlation diagrams. A molecular orbital correlation diagram, this correlates the molecular orbitals of the starting materials and the product based on the conservation of symmetry. If a symmetry element is present throughout the reaction mechanism, that is, that the symmetry of the reactant, symmetry of the transition state, and the symmetry of the product is same in all the three cases, it is called as conservation of symmetry elements. And a product will only be formed if the symmetry is conserved throughout the electrocyclic reaction. Now, in case of a conrotatory process, the symmetry element which is taken into consideration is C2 symmetry. So we can see over here that if it is having C2 symmetry, on the basis of that we will determine that whether the reaction will be allowed or it will be forbidden. Whereas in case of disrotatory opening, we will take into consideration the mirror symmetry of the molecule for formation of different types of products. So we can explain this correlation diagrams on the basis of few examples. And the first is correlation diagram of conrotatory 4 electron electrocyclic ring closure of 1,3 butadiene. And as I have told you, that symmetry element in these cases is around C2 axis. So these are the four molecular orbitals of 1,3-butadiene, and we can see under thermal conditions, two lectrons are present in this orbital and two lectrons are present in this orbital. Uh, and as on the basis of C2 symmetry, this psi1 is antisymmetric, psi2 is symmetric, psi3 is antisymmetric, psi4 is symmetric. And similarly, this is the symmetry of the products formed, that is cyclobutane derivative which is formed. This is the symmetry of the four orbitals which are present. This is sigma, this is pi, this is pi antibonding, and this is sigma antibonding orbital. The sigma orbital is symmetric with respect to C2 symmetry. Pi orbital is antisymmetric with respect to C2 symmetry. Pi anti-orbital is symmetric with respect to C2 symmetry, and sigma antibonding is antisymmetric with respect to C2 symmetry. And when we see the correlation, the psi1 correlates with the pi bond of the product, whereas the psi2 correlates with the sigma bond of the product. And we can see that ground state of the reactant is symmetric with the ground state of the product. That means ground state is correlating with the ground state of the product, and excited state, that is vacant orbitals, they are vacant orbitals of the reactant, they are correlating with the vacant orbitals of the product. So that means this conversion can be done through conrotatory motion under thermal conditions. Then correlation diagram of disrotatory for lactocyclic ring closure of butadiene. So if you see this here, uh, two electrons are present over here, two electrons are present over here, and if this rotatory motion is taking place, we can see that psi1 is here. The symmetry which is to be taken into consideration is mirror plane symmetry. So with respect to mirror plane symmetry, psi1 is symmetric, psi2 is antisymmetric, psi3 is symmetric, psi4 is antisymmetric. Similarly, sigma is symmetric, pi is symmetric, pi antibonding is antisymmetric, sigma antibonding is antisymmetric. So if we see the correlation in these, we can see that psi1 is correlating with sigma, psi2 is correlating with the pi antibonding, psi3 is correlating with the pi bond, pi bonded pi orbital, and psi4 is correlating with the sigma antibonding. And here the ground state is not correlating with the ground state of the product, whereas the first excited state of the reactant is correlating with the first excited state of the products. Hence, disrotatory closure will be a photochemical process, because this is not taking correlating with the ground state is not correlating with the ground state of the products. And these are the different thermal and photochemical conversions. If there is a thermal reaction, highest occupied orbital undergo disrotatory motion, then product will be formed. Similarly, if it is a photochemical HOMO, then conrotatory motion will lead to the formation of the product. In case of 135 hexa trienes, sorry. Then based on these rules, following generalization can be made in case of lactocyclic reactions. That is, if your reactant is having odd number of electron pairs, then thermal reaction will take place through disrotatory mechanism, whereas photochemical reaction will take place through conrotatory motion. Whereas if your reactant is having number of even electron pairs, then thermal reaction will take place through conrotatory motion, and photochemical reaction will take place through disrotatory motion. Now One thing we must remember, that our hypothesis specifies in any case which of the two type of geometrical displacements will represent a favored process. That here, for thermal reactions, the favored process is disrotatory if number of pairs is odd. This does not mean that the product cannot be formed through conrotatory motion. So for example, in this one, if this reaction is to be converted into this product through thermal conditions, then the process should be conrotatory. And if this process is disrotatory, then formation of this product is thermally not allowed. But uh, basically is that this is more stable product, and this product can be formed at uh, if we supply more energy to the system. So this means it does not exclude operation of the other under very energetic condition. If we provide the energy required for conversion of this into this, then this can also be formed. But geometrically, geometry allowed reaction is this one. On the basis of geometry of this reactant, the allowed process is this one. Similarly, this can lead to the formation of this product. This is disrotatory motion. Conrotatory motion, this is not allowed. Then similarly, conrotatory motion, this is not allowed. Disrotatory motion, this is allowed. Then is electrocyclic reactions in reactants with odd number of atoms. Uh, uh, if say the motion is disrotatory and the reactant is a cation, that means there will be two electrons. The reaction is allowed because psi1 and sigma orbitals have the same symmetry. You can see over here, this is having two electrons in case of cation, this is having two electrons, and this is also symmetric, this is also symmetric. So they are correlating with each other. That means this rotatory process, it will be a allowed process in case of reactant with odd number of atoms, or you can say in case of cations, this rotatory motion will be a allowed process. However, in case of anions, because anions will have 4 electrons, that means an excited state would be produced and the reaction is forbidden. You can see when there are 4 electrons, then ground state is not correlating with the ground state. So this will be correlating with the sigma antibonding orbital, and that is why this is a forbidden process. Disrotatory motion is a forbidden in case of anion. Whereas if the process is conrotatory process, then anion will be an allowed process and cation will be a forbidden process. This will be opposite to what we have seen in case of disrotatory motion. Then is the simplest possible electrocyclic reaction is cyclization of this allyl cation to form cyclopropyl cation, or ring opening of, or the backward reaction, ring opening of cyclopropyl cation to form allyl cation. And because we are talking about cations, that means these reactions would be a two electron process and they should proceed by disrotatory motion. So if disrotatory motion is undertaken, then this process will be a allowed process. The cyclopropyl cations, we know they are very unstable because of the ring stain present in the three membered uh, cyclic structure, and fact that empty orbital of a cyclopropyl cation would have appreciable s orbital character. Therefore there are no known example of allylic cations cyclizing to form cyclopropyl cations. So this will not take place. Instead, there will be a evidence that cyclopropyl cations are ever actually formed in any reaction. Instead, reaction that would be expected to yield cyclopropyl cations proceed with simultaneous ring opening to form allylic cation. So these will be converted into allylic cations through disrotatory motion because the reaction is a two electron process. Now few examples of cationic ring opening. The ring opening of cyclopropyl derivatives to allylic cations, as I have told you, this proceeds through disrotatory fashion. So we will take this example, say this cyclopropyl compound having 2 chloro 1,3-dimethyl cyclopropane, and the structure is a cis 1. When the reaction is taking place at minus 100 degrees centigrade, this gets converted into this cation, and this cation, if we give this much of energy, that is 18 kilocalories per mole of energy of activation, then this cation can be converted into a more stable cation. This was a cis, both the methyl groups were cis, and here they are trans, and because the interaction between the methyl groups when they are cis is more, and hence stability of this cation will be less as compared to this carbocation, and hence by giving this much of energy, this can be converted into a more stable cation, and this cation can also be produced from this reactant also. This hydrogen is also alpha, so this is a trans compound of the same 5A. This trans reactant will produce this one, and this can even be transformed into more stable, much more stable carbocation by supplying this much of energy. 24 kilocalories per mole of energy if is given to this reaction, then this can be converted into the most stable carbocation, that is 6C, and this 6C can also be synthesized from this cyclopropyl compound, and this is the preferred transition state for ring opening of a cyclopropyl halide, any of these three. So this is how X is eliminated, and through disrotatory motion, this going to this place, this going to this place, you will get these cations depending upon the nature of the reactant which we are using, and even from one reactant we can have all the three carbocations if we can supply this much of energy for conversion of one type of carbocation into the other type of carbocation. Then the case of anions. In case of anions, there are four electron systems which take into consideration. In contrast to cyclopropyl cations, cyclopropyl anions appear to have finite lifetime. Their lifetime is more. However, they can open to form allylic anions. So these cyclic carbanions, they can be converted into allylic anions. Uh, for example, if we say opening of the cyclopropyl ring in case of this anion, which can proceed by allowed conrotatory path. This is opposite to what we have seen in case of cations. In case of anions, the rotatory motion is conrotatory. That is that both the rings, both the orbitals, they will rotate in the same direction, and the ring opening of 7 is about 10 to the power 4 times as fast as the ring opening in case of 8 and 9. The reason is the steric these anions, they are sterically hindered from one side of the molecule, which must proceed by forbidden disrotatory path. And it has been estimated that activation energy required for disrotatory ring opening is at least 5.9 kilocalories per mole greater than for a conrotatory ring opening. Then is some other pentadienyl cations and anions. They can also be formed through electrocyclic reactions. So pentadienols 10A, this is pentadienol 10A, and this is pentadienol 10B. They can undergo stereospecific cyclization in acidic solution to yield cations resulting from conrotatory ring closure. So if conrotatory ring closure take place in both of these, then we can get 10A can be converted into this pentadienyl cation, whereas 10B can be converted into this pentadienyl cation. And because this is having a cation, that means this will be equivalent to 4 electron system, and we have seen that in case of 4 electron system there are conrotatory ring closures. Then the bigger anions, the pentadienyl anion, this is pentadienyl anion 11. This cyclizes in disrotatory fashion to yield cis-fused bicyclic anion. So this gives us this type of bicyclic product, which is bicyclic anion, and this reaction, electrocyclic reaction, proceeds through disrotatory motion, and in the presence of H ion, this can be converted into this bicyclic compound. Then these dipolar molecules, they can also be formed and cyclized to give us different types of heterocyclic compounds. For example, aziridines, three-membered ring amines. These are isoelectronic with cyclopropyl anions. The three-membered ring opening of these can lead to the formation of dipolar molecules or 1,3 dipoles to form dipolar molecules, and these are generally known as 1,3 dipoles. So 1,3 dipoles they are formed, and these can be formed through lactocyclic reaction. For example, in this case you can see aziridines, they are converted into 1,3 dipoles through thermal reactions. Then few examples of dipolar molecule formations. Say if you are having this substituted aziridines, when this is heated at 100 degrees centigrade, this gets converted into this type of 1,3 dipolar molecule, and reaction proceeds through conrotatory process, and this 1,3 dipolar molecule on reaction with this lead to the formation of these 5-membered heterocyclic compounds containing nitrogen. Similarly, the other enantiomer of this aziridine under same conditions can lead to the formation of this dipolar molecule, which on reaction with this molecule will lead to the formation of another 5-membered ring heterocyclic compound containing nitrogen is formed. And similarly, if these two reactions we have seen, they are done thermally, and similarly if these reactions are done photochemically, then this will lead to the formation of this dipolar molecule photochemically, and then this can be cyclized to this product. Similarly, this molecule, when it undergoes photochemical reaction, then this dipolar molecule is formed, and this can lead to the formation of this product. The next is another example in case of carbon-carbon bonds of oxirane. Oxirane is a three-membered ether compound, and this requires higher temperature than the similar reactions which we have seen in case of ziridenes. So there we have seen the reaction is taking place at 100 degrees centigrade, whereas here you require higher temperature, that is 130 degrees centigrade, and this oxirane can be converted into this type of 1,3 dipolar molecule, which can be reacted with maleic anhydride to give you this type of product. And ring openings in case of oxiranes, they require higher activation energy of about 6 kilocalories per mole, higher than the conrotatory ring openings than in case of disrotatory ring opening. Uh, the these ring openings, they have been shown to be stereospecific in by contradictory path in some of the examples. For example, in this case, this ring opening is a stereospecific reaction. Then photochemical cyclization, uh, they are very valuable synthetic tool, and we have seen some examples of cyclobutenes which usually cannot be prepared by thermal ring closures. They can be prepared by photochemical cyclizations. Then strained cyclobutene rings, they are usually less stable than the dienes. However, when conjugated dienes, they are irradiated with UV light at common wavelength, that is about 220 nanometers. Then much more of the light is absorbed by the polyenes than by the cyclobutenes. So that the rate at which the polyene is converted to a cyclobutene on photoradiation is therefore usually greater than the rate at which the cyclobutene ring openings they take place thermally. Useful yields of cyclobutane may thus be formed by photochemical cyclization of butadienes. So you can see over here that the two double bonds, they are cis to each other, and when this is reacted photochemically, then this type of product is formed. Uh, this is when these reaction they are done at 220 nanometers or above 200 nanometer. They then if the reaction is done below 200 nanometers, then unconjugated double bonds they absorb light and they can be largely reconverted into butadienes. So the reverse reaction can take place. So another example of photochemical cyclization is calciferol. This one, this is you can say as an example. This is the system which is going under photochemical cyclization. Basically, this is triene system, and this will cyclize to give us cyclobutadienes if reaction is done photochemically. So photochemically, this paracalciferol will change into this product cyclohexadiene. But when the reaction is done thermally, then you will get this cis product. Here you are getting the trans product. So both methyl and hydrogen, they can be beta, or this methyl or hydrogen they can be alpha, whereas here one can be beta, other can be alpha. So in contrast, on heating, paracalciferol yields only one products of this rotatory ring closure here, whereas here you are getting two products in case of thermal reaction. Then stereospecific photochemical cyclizations. Uh, you can see if you are having, say, cis cyclodecapentaene, and if this is uh, this undergoes photochemical cyclization, then we will be getting this trans bicyclo product. Trans 9,10 dihydronaphthalene will be formed as the product. Whereas if the ring closure is done under thermal conditions, then we will be getting cis 9,10 dihydronaphthalene as the product. So from here you can see specifically that these reactions, they are stereospecific in nature. Say in case of photochemical, you are getting one stereoisomer. With thermal conditions, you are getting another stereoisomers. So these photochemical cyclizations, they can be stereospecific reactions. Then in some cases, these photochemical cyclizations, they can be non-stereospecific also. For example, 1,3-butadiene cyclizes on photoradiation with UV light, the wavelength above 220 nanometer to form predicted disrotatory ring closure products. So if the reaction is done above 220 nanometers, then you will get a stereospecific product through disrotatory motion. Either this diene or this diene, you will get only one product. But if the same reaction is done below 200 degree, below 200 nanometers, if UV light wavelength is below 200 nanometer, then the reaction becomes non-stereospecific. For example, the same cyclic product which has been formed, if it is treated with UV light at 185 nanometers, then these three different types of products are formed and the reaction is non-stereospecific. This product is formed 33%, this product is formed 57%, and this product is formed 10%. So this you can see that this is a trans product, this is a cis trans product, and this is a cis product. Or you can also term these products in terms of EZ isomer or EE isomer or ZZ isomer also. Similarly, this isomer, if this is reacted under again below 200, that is 185 nanometers, then all these three products, they will be formed, although the amount with which they are formed is different from this product. And these are interrelated to each other. This is a cis cyclobutane, whereas this is a trans cyclobutane. And here, so this is an example of non-stereospecific photochemical electrocyclic reaction. Then some more examples of electrocyclic reactions. This 1,2-dichlorocyclobutane, which is trans, and if reaction is done thermally at 140 to 150 degrees centigrade, this will undergo ring opening through condensatory process and product formed is 85%. Similarly, if you are having this uh, cyclobutane 3,4 cyclobutane, which is cis in nature, and at this temperature through condensatory process can be converted into this product. And this is on the basis of highest occupied molecular, in case of thermal, highest occupied molecular orbital is psi2, and hence condensatory or disrotatory motion will lead to the formation of different types of product. Whereas when you are using thermal conditions, then rotation is condensatory, and condensatory means one will move anti-clockwise, other will move clockwise. So this will lead to the formation of different types of product. Then another example is ring opening of aldehyde formed by oxidation of the alcohol. This is the alcohol, and when this alcohol is oxidized with PAP and NMO at 0 degree centigrade, this primary alcohol group is oxidized to the aldehyde, and this aldehyde can undergo lactocyclic reaction to give you this type of product with 97% isomeric property purity. Then ring opening of benzocyclobutenes butanes. uh, we can achieve the synthesis of steroid estrone through these lactocyclic reactions. For example, the benzocyclobutane prepared by cobalt mediated cyclotrimerization. So if you are having this orthoquinone, this undergoes cycloaddition to give you this tetracyclic product. First ring opening of this compound converts this into this triene, and this triene then undergo cyclization to give you this product, the steroid estrone, in 95% yield. Then lactocyclic cyclization of 135 hexatrienes. So you can see that EZE triene, this one, at 132 degrees centigrade, that means the reaction is thermal in nature, and hence 4n plus 2 pi electron, the uh, cyclization will be through disrotatory motion. This will lead to the formation of this product, whereas this EZZ triene, this one, this is converted into trans product 343, and this trans product can also be changed into this product by 1,5 hydrogen shift, and this can also be produced with 342 changing into 344 through 343. And similarly, in case of ZZZ isomer, the interconversion takes place by 1,7 hydrogen shift, whereas here you have seen that interconversion is by 1,5 hydrogen shift. Then we can synthesize carbazole haliazole alkaloid. Here what happens is that divinyl indole, this one, divinyl indole, this is heated thermally at 210 degrees centigrade in presence of decalene, and this undergoes lactocyclic reaction. This is the triene. This undergo lactocyclization to give you this product, and this product on reaction with 5% palladium on charcoal is converted into carbazole haliazole alkaloid. Then this still bean can be converted into phenanthrene through lactocyclic reaction. If you irradiate this with UV light in presence of C6H12, then this will be converted into this cyclic product through lactocyclic reaction, and then this product formed in presence of iodine and air is converted into phenanthrene through and this photochemical reaction undergoes lactocyclization through conrotatory motion. Then another example is cervenomycin A. This is the cervenomycin A, the polycyclic aromatic compound. This is formed through photochemical reaction of 347. That is either E or Z diaryl alkenes. Here the configuration can be cis or trans, then E or Z diaryl alkenes will be formed. So either cis or trans or E or Z diaryl alkenes, they undergo photochemical cyclization to give you this polycyclic aromatic compound after oxidation with iodine, and the reaction is electrocyclization through photochemical means. Then cyclization of a pentadienyl cation to a cyclopentenyl cation, that is a useful entry to 5-membered carbocyclic compound. This is your pentadienyl cation, and this changes into cyclopentenyl cation, and this reaction is Nazarov cyclization of divinyl ketones. This is the divinyl ketone, this in presence of H3PO4 and formic acid changes into these cations, and through thermal electronic cyclization by commutatory process you are getting the product. The new carbon-carbon bond formation takes place during the formation of cyclopentanol.